Hello YouTube, this is Speider, and this is probably, I think it's gonna be my first English video in Kerbal Space Program. My other one's been in Norwegian, and that's been alright, but I'm just gonna try to make another one in English this time. I don't have a set goal, I'm just gonna try to build a rocket filled with these guys. Well, actually I'm gonna try to make them go to a planet. So I'm going to start game, and instead of resuming a saved game, of which I have a few, but none of them are, anything particular, I'm just going to start new. I'm going to do a sandbox game, can't do career mode yet. I'm going to do a sandbox called English YouTube. So I'll remember which one that is. I'm going to start it up, and then I've thought about whether or not to make, a fighter jet and fly around, but no, I'm just gonna try to get myself to another planet. I don't have installed any mods. This is version 0.17 or 0.17. I'm not gonna try to take just one Kerbal into space. I'm gonna take 3 Kerbals into space, so it's gonna be a little bit more difficult as the space pod is, as you can see, pretty big. So the first order of the day is to ensure the safety of the Kerbals. They need a big parachute. The XL parachute is extra large because that's what XL stands for. Also, we need some propulsion, but that's the last stage. If I ever get to a planet, this is probably what's gonna land. So I'll just connect a disconnector or decoupler to this. So if everything fails, I can just slide down to the surface in the pod over here. Now for propulsion, I'm going to put on a rocket to slow my descent. Also, it may be a little bit better to put on a large SAS module to keep it straight, more or less. And maybe a big RCS fuel tank. RCS fuel tanks is a fuel tank that gives fuel to these little fellas, which are kind of tiny jets, but they help me turn around the spaceship when actually in space. Because when there's air, you can use wings, but when you don't have air, you have to have something to push off of. So I'll use these little guys. I'll try to put on some other rocket bits, maybe an engine. Could be a good thing to have on a rocket, since, rocket, engine, flight, all that jazz. Now, to actually, this is probably going to be the last stage. This bit here is the thing that's going to hit the planet that I'm aiming for. But to actually get to a planet, we need, first of all, we need more fuel, connected by another decoupler. Then we put on some more fuel, and even some more fuel. This has a tiny thrust. This has a bigger thrust, but doesn't use all the gasoline. So when this goes off, hopefully I'll be in orbit, so I can use these tanks to kind of change my trajectory from around the Earth or Kerbin, and aim at a different planet. Hopefully hit it. So yes, this is my rocket, but to make it go out of orbit, I need more thrust. Way more thrust than I have at the moment, so I need to connect some more tanks to this monstrosity. I'll do this, and I'll do this. I think sounds about right. Now I have a couple of more fuel tanks. I can just hook up even more. Not sure how many is, you know, what's the best number of fuel tanks to have, so I'll just put on 4. That may be way too few. It may be way too many. I'm not sure that my rockets are gonna, pick up and actually leave Kerbin. But at least that's the general idea. For these long fuel tanks not to dangle around and make the spacecraft tear itself apart, I need to connect some steel beams. Strut connectors, as they're called. So I'll just hook one up over here and hook it up right there and do it the same way but opposite over there and go like this. So they're like connected all around, and hopefully they won't die immediately. On top of those, just to make sure that I can, hold more or less stable, I should put some SAS module thing. Yeah, these ones. Hopefully they won't overcompensate and make the spacecraft tear itself apart. I'm going to call this the planetary thingamajiggy ship. Yes, the planetary ship. So this thing, it might and it might not go into space. Probably not, because it doesn't really look like it should. But I'm going to do a little test run. I'm not going to go into space. I'm just going to see if it launches correctly. Because if it launches, then we're fine. We're all right. Need to give the game time to load perfectly. Okay, so that looks good. It looks stable. I'm just gonna put on the stabilizer and then put on about half thrust, and 3, 2, 1, cover your ears, launch. Okay, giving a bit more, and full on action. Okay, so it's not too fast, but at least it's stable. It has enough lift to actually go upwards, and I'm not entirely sure whether or not it can go into orbit, but it can at least go up. I'm going to put some more rocket thingies on so it gets a bit of a liftoff, and then hopefully we'll be alright. But first I need to test my separations. I think a little bit too much is going to separate now, so I'm going to slow down and separate stage 1. And then I'm going to activate. Oh, okay, yes, that went well. The stage directly beneath this one disconnected with the other ones, and that was not my intention, but at least now I know that. So I'll just brake a little bit and then disconnect that one, and as it falls down to the ground to explode, I'm gonna put on the parachute. So Bill, Bob and Jebediah Kerman, they are all gonna survive. It's a successful test. We can say flight or launch. It's not. Oh, well, at least they survived. The people on the ground didn't, but hopefully they were quick enough to run away when this thing launched. So anyways, I'm going to end this flight, vehicle assembly building, and then do a little bit of tweaking. Because this... how does this work? Oh yeah, okay. I see. And put this over there. And before that, I'm gonna put that. So first, these engines are gonna go off. Then they're gonna separate, and then I can use this middle engine to push towards a certain planet, and then disconnect that and use this for when or if I hit a planet to kind of slow down. I'm gonna save this this setup, and I'm gonna put some rocket boosters on. You know, because boosters are fine. Ooh, before I put the boosters on, I need to check whether or not I have space, whether or not I have room to boost for boosters. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit of the crash. What can I say? The crash model, the physical model of this thing, extends a tiny bit out from the yellow, and the physics model for these spaceship parts extends a tiny bit away from the actual craft. So if I put on any boosters here, I think they'll just smash into the tower, which isn't necessarily a very good idea. But since I'm not totally sure, for science, vehicle assembly building, let's see if we can hook up some boosters. Zoom out a little bit, and then I'll put on some structure thingies. This looks about right. I'll put them on there. Make sure they disconnect at the same... No! Oh no! These are gonna disconnect a little bit sooner. These are gonna disconnect before the other ones, because, you know, the boosters are gonna go fuel empty before the other ones. Now I can choose propulsion and then choose the big solid fuel boosters. Now they don't really look too big. Hopefully they're not gonna crash in anything, but I kind of want more boosters. So this is probably gonna go real bad, but if this doesn't explode directly in my face, it's gonna look pretty sweet. So I'll just put on more boosters at approximately the same height. I think that's cool. And then I'm gonna put on the last 1, 2, 3, and pull those down to this stage. Make the boosters go off in the beginning. I'm probably gonna tear the ship in half, but you know, for science. And then put on the latest booster at about the same height as the other ones. So this looks this actually looks pretty sweet. Now the thrust, the extra thrust from the boosters around here is gonna be pulling hard on the fuel tanks that they're connected to. So that might go incredibly wrong. They might just tear these long fuel lines into tiny bits, just as I try to launch my craft. So I'll save this, and then I'm gonna set off for a planet, unless, you know, the whole thing explodes in my face, which wouldn't be particularly sweet. I think everything's connected the way it should. I'm just gonna go for a tiny bit of thrust in the beginning. Everything's gonna probably tear itself apart anyways. And then in 3, 2, 1. Yes! No explosions! Oh, holy spacecraft. I should... Oh, never mind. I'll just go like this. Yep, everything in its finest. Oh, stop. Yes! Perfect landing. That was exactly what I was trying to do. No, it wasn't, but they survived. I am awesome! I'm gonna end that flight, and I'm gonna restart. Now, the problem, I think, was that even though I had put my stabilizer on, I didn't give too much thrust with my stabilizing engines. These engines can actually move and change my direction, but the other boosters, they were way too powerful, so, you know, I died. I'm gonna put them at, you know, 2/3 of throttle, and then I'm gonna try again. Hopefully, they're not gonna die. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, right, it hit the tower. It actually hit the tower. The boosters were at an angle, and God damn it. Would you please stop? Oh, yes! Yes, and once again, they're safe because of Jebediah's awesome skills. Okay, I think I've figured out a way to maybe solve this problem. So I'm gonna end flight and go to vehicle assembly building. Now, what's happening is that as these thrusters thrust, they're connected here. So the thrusters, they push upwards. The middle part is holding fast, so the top is getting pushed in as the thrusters try, and the bottom part of the solid fuel thrusters go a little bit out. And as this rocket kind of passes the yellow bit that sticks out on the launch tower, they connect just a tiny bit, not to, you know, destroy the aircraft. It just pushes it a little bit off balance. But then, of course, the aircraft gets destroyed because it's off balance. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put some stabilizing metal rods onto these thrusters, and hopefully that will you know, stop them from kind of expanding. Yeah, because as long as they're all connected at the bottom, they won't push outwards. I could have done it in several different ways. I could probably, you know, put solid rods on the fuel tanks, connected here, so the tops won't push in, but this is the way that I have decided to try to do this. Also, I think maybe I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna take one at the top and connect there on all the middle ones. So save, and then it is time to go to another planet, or at least attempt to go to another planet. The mission is over when these guys either die or land on a planet or are trapped in space. So one of many different possibilities. Now I'm going to thrust up to 2/3 and let's see whether or not we die. 3, 2, 1, lift off. Yes! Stable! Okay, full thrust. Need to get as much lift as possible before I have to drop these guys. Let's see, mission time. I can't see mission time because I have frames countable. Okay, 25 seconds in. We're at 12 meters per second. We're at 4 kilometers and climbing. Now we're at 1/10 of what Felix Baumgartner was before he jumped from space. Now, maybe I'm just gonna do a Baumgartner thing and make one of my tiny kerbals over here jump from space. Or maybe not. They're probably gonna die. So that's not a good idea. How many fuel tanks do I have left? That's an interesting question. I actually have no idea. I have 6. Only 6 fuel tanks left. I've used 1, 2. I'm on 3rd, and then 6. Okay, so I've spent almost all of my fuel. Even though this is a huge rocket tower, I spent all of my fuel. I do not design these things efficiently. So I should probably learn a little bit more about how to do... Look at the pretty stars. I should probably learn a little bit about how to more efficiently build an efficient rocket. I'm not even sure I'm gonna get clear of Kerbal. I'm going straight up, which may not be like a clever idea. I think it's actually good to switch and go at an angle when you reach a certain height. I'm gonna disconnect this now, and then start my tiny fuel thingy. Oh, the acceleration is so slow. It's not even strong enough to properly slow my my deceleration. So at some point I'm gonna hit the top of my orbit and I'm gonna start falling down again. Now there is a possibility that when I hit max orbit I'm far enough away for this rocket to actually do something, so I'll get pushed away from the planet after all. But that's not quite certain. I cannot warp faster than 1x while under acceleration, which is a little bit annoying because you can go to double speed and times 3 and times 4 when you're in the atmosphere, I think. So this thing is spinning like crazy. Our little astronauts or kerbalnauts are not doing well. Well, Jebediah is having a good time. The other ones are preparing to die, which they probably should, because they're gonna die. Now it looks like our deceleration is going slower. I'm not totally sure, but it looks like the number is counting it down slightly less quickly, as they did a couple of minutes ago. So now we can look down on the glory that is Kerbal. I could, of course, just take this opportunity to make one of the guys go outside and jump back to Kerbal. doing a little Felix. But if any one of them went outside right now and they let go of the ladder on their little pod thingy, that guy, that sweet little guy, would probably be flung away because of the rotation and the the force of the rotation that this ship is in. Yes, the ship is decelerating much slower now, so we might actually get to a point where the deceleration stops and it begins to accelerate. Now, since I put a puny tiny mongrel engine on this thing, which was not necessarily a good idea. Oh, is it? Yeah, it's growing. It is growing. We're very, very slowly accelerating, which is awesome. A little bit more than half a fuel tank has been used, so the apoapsis of our orbit is growing really, very slightly. We're probably not gonna hit another planet. I think that was a bit of a stretch. That was not a goal that I should have set myself, because I'm not very good at building rockets that can go so far yet. I need a bit of practice. So instead, what I think I need to do is letting the apoapsis grow, get bigger and bigger until, holy crap, they're spinning even faster now. So yeah, but anyways, I'm gonna try to make the orbit make it actually go into orbit around the moon. But first I need to take care of some business. So let's see, I'll go back to here and then start the RCS to slow the thing down. And I'm going to manual override, yes, and then I'm gonna control it back and about here. Now we're in more or less stable flight, stable trajectory. I think the spin itself was caused by letting go of the other rocket thingies. The force exerted on this ship. Oh, never mind. As soon as I started up the SAS, then the ship went into total overdrive. I think I have found a tiny flaw. Maybe it only stabilizes at a certain number of degrees, so if you rotate the ship like 15 times before putting the SAS on, I think maybe the ship tries to go 15 times the other way before stabilizing. I'm not sure. Maybe we should do some experiments with that later for science. But now the orbit is growing. It's on a trajectory to kind of crash with the moon. Still more than half a fuel tank left, so I can... Okay. I'm gonna start slowing down as this grows quicker and quicker. The acceleration does a lot more with the apoapsis the farther away the top of the trajectory is. So I'm gonna slow down, because I think that's, yeah, pretty stable. But I'm not sure how far out I have to go to hit the moon on my way in. Should be around here, probably. Because what's gonna happen is that the spaceship is gonna go up, and then it's gonna start falling back in towards Kerbin. This is the moon. It's gonna go around Kerbin, and as I go up, this will go around, and then I'll start to fall back and hopefully hit, the moon on the way back. But first, this needs to be a little more far out. Not sure exactly how much. It's kind of difficult to see. Luckily there are tools in the game that helps me see when the trajectory is going to be changed by the moon. Unless I'm like really far above, or no, I shouldn't be. I'm in a it's pretty spot on. Pretty spot on. A little bit low, but it's should be okay. So, thrust, more thrust, more thrust. Why am I not hitting the moon yet? Why? Okay, I'm just gonna stop there, put on the SAS, and then do a little bit of time warp. Let's do the time warp again. 50 times speed, 100 times. Oh, right. Okay. Because that planet is moving way slower than I anticipated. So I'm going to this doesn't seem right, that I should have to go this far out to... Ooh. Bop. What the hell is Bop? Oh, Bop is a planet that's... No, that's Jewel. What? What the hell is Bop? Oh, there are moons around that planet. Okay, I see. But this is weird. Because how far away do I have to go to hit the moon on re-entry? Okay, this is getting kind of ridiculous. I don't think... On my return, I think I may have passed the moon, so I'm gonna try to speed up a little bit more. Going to 100. Oh, I'm going slow. What? Yes! Okay. This looks better. Okay, I think I see it now. The moon has a really slow orbit, but I'm going really slow as well. So I think the moon is totally gonna pass. The moon is totally gonna pass, and I'm not gonna hit the moon. Why did the game not show me that? Maybe I blinked. Maybe I just didn't see it. Because the moon is gonna pass again. About now. No. Now. Yeah. And then the moon is probably gonna pass a third time before I'm back to Kerbin. Probably it's gonna pass maybe 2 more times. Let's see. 1. I'm so not gonna hit the moon. I'm totally not gonna hit the moon. I'm just gonna fall back down and accelerate and accelerate and accelerate. Oh, gosh dang it. And I'm now going 1,300. Okay guys, I'm gonna hit Kerbin at about 3 times the speed of sound. this isn't necessarily gonna be great. I'm gonna speed up a little bit more, so you can see Kerbal getting closer as it orbits. I don't know exactly where I'm gonna land, if I'm gonna land in water or if I'm gonna land on land. It looks like I might be hitting over here somewhere, which is actually the place I left off of Kerbal from. So that's pretty neat. I think that kinda looks like Africa, kinda. Yeah. This is kind of awesome. Oh. Oh. Okay. I think that's the space station where all the bits and pieces are. Not totally sure, but I think so. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going 10 times the speed of sound now, which isn't a good landing speed. So I'm gonna just disconnect that and full thrust and try to brake, because I don't want to die. Oh, there's the station. I think the space station is just over there, and I'm going into atmosphere. And oh no! Oh dang it! Gosh, dang it! This is not good. 3 times the speed of sound. Yes, air, and my oh, no fuel. Parachute. I'm going at the speed of sound. I'm slowing down. I'm going at half the speed of sound. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna make this. There's the ground. Oh. Is that bit lying on the ground, or is it falling? I think it's falling. It's probably falling. I'm only going 120 meters per second. So I'm breaking down quite nicely. The parachute is doing a lot. I'm not sure what speed I have to be in for it to fall down. The ground is getting... Oh, it's getting... Yes! I did not die. I didn't go to another planet. I did not go to the moon. But guys, we are back home, and it is glorious. Bill, Bob, and Jebediah are not dead. So I think I'm gonna call it quits for now. This was my testing, or further testing, of Kerbal Space Program, now in English. So if any one of you like, let me know, and I might make more, or play another game. So yeah, the Kerbals are safe. Thanks for watching.